Vice President Sara Duterte, pinipigilan nga bang umattend ng Quadcom hearing ang kanyang mga opisyalis? 7 po kasi sa kanyang mga tauhan ang sinagpina ng House, pero hindi po sila sumipot. In fact, 4 na imbitasyon na po sa kanila, hindi pa rin po sila sumisipot. At ang alam ko, tanging si Attorney Michael Powa lang ang umattend para sabihin na hindi na siya konektado sa OVP. So, good job, Attorney Powa. Ngayon, wala ka na sa OVP, pwede ka na siguro magsalita at wala nang makakapagpigil sa'yo kung gusto mo magsabi kung ano ang iyong nalalaman. At dito sa 7 ito, ano ang gagawin ng House kung patuloy nilang iislabin ang imbitasyon ng ating mga kongresista. Pero ang pagkakaalam ko, isa po sa kanila, si Zuleika Lopez, ang Chief of Staff ni VP Sara, ay nakaalis na papuntang Amerika. Pinatakas o tumakas para makaiwas sa mga hearing at hindi makapagsabi ng totoo na paghahalata tuloy na may itinatago ang ating Vice President. Dahil kung sa tingin niya wala siya nagagawang anomalya, humarap. Gayahin mo ang iyong amang si former President Rodrigo Duterte. Kahit na nagkawindang-windang, kahit na na-incriminate niya yung sarili niya, humarap pa rin siya sa Senado. Although hindi po natin alam kung siya ay sisipot sa panibagong imbitasyon sa kanya ng House na umattend sa Quadcom hearing sa November 7. Dahil nung unang imbitasyon, nagkasakit daw ang dating Pangulo. Ano naman kaya ang magiging dahilan sa November 7 hearing? So sana pamarisan ni VP Sara si former President at humarap at magsabi ng kanyang version ng katotohanan. Dahil iba yung sinasabi ni VP Sara na siya ang tama, na wala siyang ginawang anomalya, at iba din naman yung mga nahahalungkat ng Quadcom. Kung talagang mahal mo ang taong bayan, humarap ka sa Quadcom. Sabihin mo ang lahat ng iyong nalalaman. Kung ito man ay totoo, di mabuti, nalinis mo ang pangalan mo. Dahil hanggat hindi ka sumisipot at pilit kang nagmamatigas, lalo pong nawawalan ng gana ang taong suportahan ka. Kaya nga pababa ang ratings mo. Save yourself. Or baka tuluyan ng you will drag yourself to hell. Panoorin po natin ito.
Siguro we can ask the former undersecretary or the spokesman of the Vice President, Attorney Powa, if are you still connected with the, well, I understand that you are no longer connected with DepEd, but how about in the office of the Vice President? Are you still connected?
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I would like to inform the Honorable Committee that I am no longer connected po with the Office of the Vice President. Hindi na po ako, yung consultancy contract ko po was already pre-terminated, Your Honor.
Not even as a spokesman?
Wala na rin po ako as spokesperson.
Okay, but
Opo.
are you aware of the status of the people who are subject of the subpoena?
Opo.
Are they still connected?
Honestly, Your Honor, when I was still there, yes, they were connected with the OVP. Although, as of today, hindi ko na po talaga masabi factually if they are still connected or not. I would assume because of the position paper with the letterhead that they're still connected. But I cannot confirm that because nagpaalam po ako, nagpaalam po ako na umalis prior pa po to the previous hearing that we had.
Mr. Chair, I assume
Yes, Congressman Bante.
that Attorney Powa knows all of these people personally, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your
Oo.
Honor.
So therefore, siguro, at present, alam mo pa rin kung sino yung connected kay Vice President.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who are those people still connected with the Vice President?
Your Honor, as
far
far
as you know it.
as far as I know, those people are still connected with the Vice President. Although as of today, I really do not have personal knowledge. But as far as I know, they are still connected with the OVP.
Mr.
Thank you
Chair,
po.
how about Ms. Lopez? Is she still connected?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Your-
Emmanuel Gonzaga Ortonio.
Yes, Your Honor. As far as I
How
know.
about Rosalyn Ladores Sanchez?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Gina Acosta?
I don't have any interaction po with her, but when I was there, yes, I know that she was connected with those.
About Julieta Villa del Rey?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Edward Fajarda,
Yes, as far as I know.
and
Your Honor.
Sunshine Chari Fajarda.
As far as I know as well, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I would assume that if all of these are connected with the Vice President, it is the Vice President herself that asked them not to attend this hearing.
So may I know if all these subject persons that were mentioned by the Honorable Abante are still, do you have any travel update?
Your Honor,
Are they still? Yes, Congressman.
Mr. Chair, may I also? Mr. Chair.
Congressman Sia.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. In line with the question of Chairman Abante, well, I'd like also to ask Attorney Pao, because she mentioned certain number of names, and you confirmed that they are still connected with the Office of the Vice President. Would you also know if an individual by the name of Kelvin Tuntinido and Maria Edeline Rabago are still also connected with the Office of the Vice President?
Your
Attorney
Honor,
Poa. Please
sorry,
please
Mr. Chair.
respond.
Your Honor, I am not familiar with them because when I was spokesperson, I only dealt with the upper management. Although yung Mr. Kelvin, I think I recall his name.
Yeah.
Although I cannot, in all honesty, say if he's
But
still
while
connected or not.
when the time that you were connected with the Vice President, have you met these people?
Briefly,
you say that- yeah?
briefly, Your Honor, because of the budget hearings that
Okay.
time. Opo.
Are they career officers of OVP?
I honestly wouldn't know, Your Honor.
Okay, thank
Kasi
you.
I was only a consultant, Your Honor, so I beg your indulgence on
Yeah.
that.
Okay, thank you, Attorney. Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman, just
Congressman Paduano.
just to clarify things, because we're discussing some other names mentioned by members or colleagues, no, and members of this committee. While we have received already the official position from the Office of the Vice President, and was signed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 persons, subject of isupena at testificandum.
Yes.
So, Mr. Chairman, ganito na lang po because reading on the documents, no, that was as reply and an excuse from the Office of the Vice President signed by the 7 persons cited, issued by Supuena at testificandum, a certain Attorney Lopez, at Lemuel Ortonio, Attorney Sanchez, Julieta Villaderle, Gina Acosta, and the spouses, Sunshine and Edward Farda. Now, Mr. Chairman, while question of being absent in today's hearing was already discussed and answered by this honorable committee, unless otherwise, some of the members will discuss it once again with regards to question of sub judice, question of jurisdictional issue, and the right to decline the invitation. But one thing is important, Mr. Chairman, that they invoke the question of the 3D rule, which is our internal rules. So, Mr. Chairman, now to be safe, for this committee to be safe, may I respectfully move na lang, Mr. Chairman, to once again issue subpoena ad testificandum to all those mentioned name, no, to all those mentioned name and what's issued previously a subpoena ad testificandum to be present in the next hearing, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Deputy Speaker Suarez.
Second.
Well, actually,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
before,
Congressman
with the
Paduano.
indulgence of the members and the good chairman, Mr. Chairman, to expedite discussion with regards to the question, matters at hand, may I just respectfully submit, Mr. Chairman, my official position with regards to the position or reply by the Office of the Vice President, just to expedite discussion, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, I will just submit my position with regards to sub judice, with regards to question of the trade rule and the four reasons why those 7 OVP officials are not present at this hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
Noted.
Chair,
Yes, Congressman Abante.
according to the committee secretary, these people
At this Dipicandum.
have been invited 4 times, but they failed to attend. As I am, I'm so glad for the kindness of Congressman Paduano in inviting them again for the 5th time. Now, Mr. Chair, if they will not come for the 5th time, then I might make a motion to hold them in contempt. Because this is the 4th time. This is unfair to these people here who have attended every time that they are called upon. And then we're just going to do nothing about these people here who have been invited 4 times. It's unfair for us too that we are here in this hearing, and these people are kept on insulting us, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Congressman Paduano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the manifestation made by the Honorable Vice Chair Abante with regards to the issuance of subpoena at the Dipicandum, let's cross the bridge. I think, Mr. Chairman, let's cross the bridge when we have the next hearing. No? Tingnan po natin. But of course, we will just comply with our internal rules with regards to the trade rule. But question of due process with regards to invitation, Mr. Chairman, that is very clear that we have invited them for the 4 invitations. So I really join the sentiment of Vice Chair Abante, but as of now we cannot discuss about it since we have to comply with our internal rule. These are the trade rules, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, before I make my ruling, I would just like to make a short manifestation. I totally in agreement with the manifestation of Congressman Abante. And in fact, the fact that all the other resource persons are present in today's hearing, bakit naman po sila naka-attend? Yung iba hindi maka-attend. But of course, para po mawala na lang po yung mga agam-agam and also to, just like what Congressman Paduano said, to accommodate and in view of our 3-day rule, we will just reissue another subpoena with the stern warning that the next time that they fail to attend, we will be constrained to issue a much heavier penalty. Considering that there is a motion which was duly seconded by Congressman with Deputy Speaker Suarez, is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Deputy Speaker Suarez.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick manifestation. Unang-una ho ay pinapangalawahan ko po yung posisyon ni Congressman Abante patungkol po sa mga taong iniimbitahan ng committee ito upang magbigay ng impormasyon, pagpapaliwanag sa mga usapin na pinag-uusapan natin. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, Mr. Chairman, pang-4 na hearing na po natin ito. Tama po ba ako? This is our 4th hearing. I'm sure a great number of the Filipino people know what we're talking about. I'm sure the Office of the Vice President know what we're talking about. I'm sure the officials of the DepEd know what we're talking about. And being public servants, whether you're elected or you're appointed, it is part of your duty to make sure that you exercise transparency and accountability in the exercise of your duties and functions. Now, as an appointed official, having that oath that you have taken, pag meron pong mga patawag na ginagawa, ang Kongreso, maging ang Senado at ang mababang kapulungan, obligado pong umattend sila dahil napakahalaga po ng kanilang ibabahagi sa ating mga pinag-uusapan. So, alam ko naman po ay nakikinig yung mga iniimbitahan natin na ayaw sumipot, pakiusap ko lang po sa kanila para naman matapos na po ito at makapagpatuloy na po tayo sa ilang bahagi. Ang habol lang naman po natin dito ay katotohanan, pagpapaliwanag lang kung paano ba ginastos yung pera. Hindi naman siguro masyadong mahirap ipaliwanag kung tama naman po ang paggastos ng pera. So, sinususugan ko po yung posisyon ni Congressman Paduano na pagbigyan natin muli ng, sige, isa pang pakiusap. Tulad na lang ng ginawa natin ng budget hearing, pinagbigyan na naman natin ng isa pang pagkakataon para humarap sa plenary. Kasi lang sana naman po, ito na ang huling pagkakataon na ibibigay natin. Dahil mahalaga po ang oras natin, mahalaga po yung oras ng mga taong pumupunta dito. Ako po ay nakikiisa sa pasasalamat sa inyong lahat. Dahil alam ko naman po ay inaabot po tayo minsan dito ng 8-10 oras sa pandinig. But you give time. You open up your schedule because you know the importance and the significance of these hearings. So again, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to manifest that I am very disappointed with the position of our invited guests for the fourth time, not attending our hearing. And I do hope that when we do issue the subpoena tomorrow, we can take our proper action. Now, my question, Mr. Chair, is what other legal remedy does the committee possess insofar as to secure, number one, if our resource persons are still in the Philippines? Number two, to avoid flight. Number three, to ensure that their presence will be here in the following hearing.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Abante.
in relation to the question of my good friend Congressman J.J. Suarez, nakalagay po dito sa pinadala sa atin na information that only Zuleika Lopez departed on November 4. Emmanuel Gonzaga Ortoño arrived November 20. Rosalyn Ladores Sanchez arrived May 21. Juliet Villadel del Rey arrived October 5. Edward Fajarda and Sunshine Chari Fajarda arrived June 25. Now, wala pa naman po naka-report na umalis sila uli. Sa palagay ko po, hindi lang talaga, I just would like to manifest, Mr. Chair, na napakabait po ng Committee on Good Government for giving them the chance for the 5th time to attend. Sana naman po ay hindi na kami ipahiya dito sapagkat para bang nararamdaman ko na umiiwas sila na tanungin kung paano ginamit ang pondo ng ating pamahalaan na dapat nilang linawin sa committee ito sapagkat tayo po ang binigyan ng mandato ng konstitusyon upang ating busisiin ang pondo na ginagamit ng bawat ahensya ng gobyerno, Mr. Chair. Kaya sa akin po, nakaka-disappoint sapagkat dapat ipaliwanag hindi lamang sa ating komite, dapat ipaliwanag sa taong bayan kung papaano ba ginamit ang pondo ng taong bayan, Mr. Chair.
Would the committee allow for certain invitees not to appear in the committee hearings before we can issue a subpoena for them to be mandated and obligated to appear before this committee hearings?
Your Honor, under the rules on inquiries, witnesses, resource persons, and guests are allowed to unjustified absences, Your Honor.
Kaya uulitin ko, Mr. Chair, sapagkat medyo, alam nyo, hindi rin nakakatuwa na makita na 4 na beses nang inimbitahan to. Samantalang nakalagay sa rules natin, 2 beses lang eh. And then afterwards, you could be able to issue a contempt order, no? Pero ito pang-4 na kayong hindi naka-attend, pang-5 ng imbitasyon to. So nakikita nyo ang kabaitan ng Committee on Good Government na pinapangunahan ni Congressman Joel Chua. So nais kong sabihin ulit, itong si Zuleika Lopez, Emmanuel Gonzaga Ortoño, Rosalyn Ladores Sanchez, Gina Acosta, Julieta Villa del Rey, Edward Fajarda, Sunshine Chari Fajarda, huwag nyo naman kaming hahamunin ang committee ito na mag-issue na kami ng contempt order sa inyo. Sana mag-attend na kayo. Ngayon pong inibitahan kayo ng pang-5 beses. Sapagkat alam ko naman, Mr. Chair, nakikinig itong mga taong to. Hindi naman sila ignorante sa hearing na ito. Nakikinig po sila dito. At kung narinig niyo po kami, nananawagan po kami sa inyo. Mag-attend na kayo sa next hearing po natin. At inyo natanggapin ang aming pagiging mabait sa inyo so far, Mr. Chair.
Kung if they keep on refusing attending these committee hearings, alam po ng mga abogado nila yan na in fact it's a under po dun sa revised Penal Code Article number 150, talagang meron pong penalty dyan sa refusal doon sa mga invitation ng mga proper na binigyan ng mandato ng Constitution na mag-investigate at mag-inquire at mag-hold ng mga committee hearings such as what we're doing right now. So just to add context to the manifestation of Congressman Chairman Benny Abante po, na dapat po alam po nila yan because they have to consult their lawyers and they must appear before this committee hearing, Mr. Chair.
Well, I'm just so glad, Mr. Chair, that Attorney Powa do not have this kind of an attitude also. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Luistro.
Mr. Chair, to complete the arguments, our answer to the arguments which were raised by the OVP in their position paper, I wish to share the rules and the jurisprudence which were cited with respect to the argument on sub judice rule. Isa po sa mga dahilan na ginagamit ng OVP why they refuse to attend our inquiry in aid of legislation is the rule on sub judice. By this, we are prevented from making any comment or disclosures pertaining to judicial proceeding which may directly or indirectly impede, obstruct, or degrade the administration of justice. In Filipino, Mr. Chair, kapag ang subject matter is already pending in court, generally, we are precluded from making any comment. However, Mr. Chair, maliwanag po ang parameters when the sub judice rule may apply. And I wish to share, number 1, under Section 1 of the Rules on Inquiry in Aid of Legislation, the filing or pendency of a case before any court, tribunal, or quasi-judicial or administrative body shall not stop or abate any inquiry conducted to carry out a legislative process. Number 2, Mr. Chair, there is no pending court case or administrative appeal that involves the same subject matter of this hearing. I understand that there are pending petitions before the Supreme Court, but let us acknowledge that the subject matter of those petitions is the constitutionality of the grant of confidential fund to executive offices like the OVP and the DepEd. Whereas the subject matter of this investigation, Mr. Chair, is the utilization of the confidential fund. These are two different matters, Mr. Chair. And third, Mr. Chair, let us be aware of the jurisprudence on the case of Romero II versus Estrada. This is GR number 174-105, promulgated on April 2, 2009, which essentially states ongoing judicial proceedings cannot preclude or hinder congressional hearings in aid of legislation. In this case, it was held that the mere filing of a criminal or an administrative complaint before a court should not automatically bar the conduct of legislative investigation. Otherwise, Mr. Chair, it would be extremely easy to to subvert any intended inquiry by Congress through the convenient ploy of instituting a criminal or an administrative complaint, surely the exercise of sovereign legislative authority, of which the power of legislative inquiry is an essential component, cannot be made subordinate to a criminal or administrative investigation. In conclusion, Mr. Chair, there is no leg to stand on where the OVP can raise the rule on sub judice. I submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. Meron pa pong gusto mag-comment? Yes, Congressman Defensor, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to put to rest, once and for all, the issue of whether this is in aid of legislation. This is clearly in aid of legislation because ang pera na ginamit ng OVP at ng DepEd is funded and forms part of the single most important legislation passed by Congress every year, and that is the annual budget or the General Appropriations Act. Walang pwedeng magsabi na ang pondo na binibigay sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno kapag iniimbestigahan ng committee ito is not part of in aid of legislation because we legislate the funds that we give to all agencies and instrumentalities of government. And it is for us to determine through our oversight and this committee whether we will fund it again, whether we will repeal it, or whether we will not no longer fund these programs through these confidential and intelligence funds. So I hope that is clear to every Filipino na in aid of legislation ito kasi part ito ng annual budget or General Appropriations Act taon-taon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Congressman Abante, you're recognized.
I fully agree with Congresswoman Luistro and Congressman Defensor on what they said. Ito po ay pinapanood ng taong bayan na kinakailangan maunawaan po nila na itong pondong ito, whether confidential po ito o hindi, nagastos na po ito. Hindi pa ito gagastusin, nagastos na ho ito eh. Ang nais nating malaman kung paano ito nagastos. Tungkulin po natin yan sa committee ito na alamin upang malaman po ng taong bayan na yung paggastos po ng pondo na nanggaling sa mga taxpayers ay tama at naaayon sa mandato na ibinigay sa office ng pangalawang Pangulo. Kaya nga po iniimbitahan natin itong mga taong ito na nakakaalam ng mga pondong ito. Ako naman po medyo naaawa na rin sa ating members ng COA na naririndi na sa mga katanungan natin. Talagang dapat pumunta na po ito. Kaya gusto ko rin i-air ang warning na ito muli. Pag hindi pa sila nagpunta sa panglimang pagkakataon, ako na po ay magmo-motion to issue a contempt order on them. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Ayan, ano pong masasabi ninyo? Hanggang dito na lang po muna tayo. Hanggang sa susunod na mga issues. Maraming salamat po.